Helena and I am here today with Charles Darwin, interviewing him on the theory of evolution. Would you care to join me on the couch?
Why, certainly. Hello, Helena. Very nice to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to make your acquaintance. So, what is your first question?
My first question is, can you please tell me about the theory of evolution?
The theory of evolution, one of my favorite topics from the book I wrote on the origin of species back in 1859. Essentially, the theory of evolution talks about how people and even animals have what we call descent by modification. Essentially, where parts of our body and our behaviors change over time due to something called natural selection.
What is natural selection?
That's a very good follow-up question. Natural selection is central. It's very important to the theory of evolution. And what it means is that over time, things change due to nature, natural selection. So a long time ago we had fur on our bodies, and we had bigger teeth, and things that we needed in nature to help us survive. The things that we need are passed on from generation to generation as we evolve, and the things that we don't need, called vestiges, actually phase out. We no longer need those behaviors or parts of our body.
Can you please give me 2 examples of things Homo sapiens lost?
2 examples. Homo sapiens. That is a good term. That's the scientific term for human beings, which we are, you and I. 2 things we have lost. Well, the first one, which I just mentioned, would be teeth. A long time ago, when Homo sapiens, or humans, actually, and our predecessors, millions of years ago, 6 million to be exact, ate a lot of plant food. But once we developed and created tools and learned how to use fire to make food, we digested food differently, and our jaws got smaller and our teeth got smaller. Another thing is actually the thing that you're sitting on, which is your tailbone. Back a long time ago, our descendants actually lived in the trees, and they needed their tails to help them swing and balance. And we no longer need the tail, but you still have a tailbone called the coccyx, and you have that. And even when you're a baby developing, it's quite pronounced.
Can you please give me an example of a trait Homo sapiens have kept over time?
That's a good question too. So, when you're cold, what do you get on your arm?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps, yes. That is a good example of a trait that we have kept over time. Back a long time ago, it served a much bigger purpose to warn us, to serve as a warning sign of something that we needed to be afraid of. Now it pretty much just tells us that we are cold.
So, an example of, like, if a predator was nearby, you would get goosebumps.
That's a good example, a predator. If something were coming to do harm to you, or even to try to eat you like a predator, then goosebumps would tell you that it's coming, and you would know to be afraid and to get away. And now we don't have as much use for goosebumps to tell us something like that, because there are less predators. Fewer, excuse me.
Yes. What is your favorite quote to sum up the idea of natural selection?
Now that is a good question. I love quotes, and let me think about that. I think probably my favorite quote, Miss Helena, would be that it's not the strongest nor the most intelligent that survive, but the most willing and able to change. Because evolution and the word evolve means to change. So the ones that change are the ones that survive, not just the strongest or the most intelligent, but the ones that can adapt to their environment are the ones that win.
Wonderful.
Yes. What is the title of your presentation, actually?
Change or Die.
Change or Die. Now that is a pretty good description of what we just talked about. It was a pleasure being here to talk about my favorite topic, the theory of evolution.
Thank you.
You're a very good interviewer.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Helen.